One of the biggest comments that I'm told in my videos where I speak about making money online is, it won't work. Building an online business is not sustainable, it's not realistic, and it's something that you can't do. With that being said, as somebody who runs a few online businesses, which does actually help me to make quite a decent amount of money, I want to speak about my perspective on this and explain why an online business may or may not be something that a lot of people can utilize. In this modern age of the internet and technology, a lot more people want to make an online income. It's a way where they can perhaps travel a lot more, perhaps work less, or maybe stack a second income on top of their job, depending on how hard they want to work. A lot of people see this as a new revolution. Yet there's a percentage and a faction of society, of people on the internet, as a result of that, who want to make this argument that it will not work, and it cannot work. Like I say, I started my first online business quite some time ago. I was 13, so right now that's 8 years ago. And in that time, I've seen businesses come, I've seen businesses go. I've failed on a lot of projects. I've actually failed on more projects than I've succeeded on. And that might make me sound like a great failure, but let me explain one thing. You only need a couple of projects to win and all of your others to lose for you to make it. With that being said, let's talk about the prospects of somebody who is starting out in this field and why an online business may or may not be a good idea. So first we'll address the concerns that I hear a lot. A big concern that people say to me is, well, it's not realistic. I say, well, explain, because I'm already making X amount. Then people say, well, your chances of making 100,000 a year, 200,000 a year, 500, a million are very, very slim. And this is something that makes me slightly chuckle, because I say, okay, well, let's have a look at the counter argument. So when you're trying to dissuade me from carrying on with or building an online business because I won't make 100, 200 grand a year, you're implying that I should go and get a stable job. Now I find this really, really amusing, because I don't know about you guys, but especially if you're starting out with little to no skills or an education from a basic university or no university at all, the chances of you making upwards of 200-300k are equally, if not slimmer, than building an online business. And I just find this funny, because people say, well, don't build an online business, get a job, it's more stable, it'll make you more money. Well, not necessarily. I don't know many people who are on 200-300k from a job. Maybe I'm mixing in the wrong circles, maybe I'm working in the wrong jobs, but I just find that a funny argument in itself. The idea that a job is going to make you more money. The biggest reason that people will look to say a job will make you more money is because a job is more stable. And that, I have to agree with. In the years that I've been doing online business, I've seen a lot of businesses come and go. Like I say, I've been doing this now for about 8 years, and I've had now 3 YouTube channels, including this one, that have made me money to varying degrees of success. The last 2 made me over 10 to, I think even more than that, 1,000 each. So I've had 2 YouTube channels, I've had 2 eBay accounts. No, I've probably had about 4 eBay accounts, to be fair, going way back. I've done all sorts of different stuff. So yeah, businesses come and businesses go. But here's a funny thing, right? Sustainability is an issue with online business, but as more and more business options become available, this can absolutely be offset by diversification. What I mean by that is, people are going to tell me that a YouTube channel like this one can die off at any point. It could even get demonetized or deleted, to which I completely agree. Thank goodness then, I have my Amazon selling account, I have my eBay selling account, I have my Patreon account, and I'm working on other stuff. The reason why I'm not doing more than that right now is because it's like learning languages, in my opinion. You can't learn 6, 7 languages at once. I've already kind of learned the language of eBay to a point where I'm now making decent money with it. I'm slowly learning the language of Amazon, and I feel like I've got the language of YouTube understood, but it's just more of a grind process anyway. That's just a couple of streams of income. You can do a lot more than that, and I would recommend it, but that's a big thing. With the amount of time it takes to run a lot of these businesses, I can do 3 to 4 income streams a day. I can work on 3 to 4 different income streams every day. So like I say, I'm making YouTube videos right now in the park. This morning I was listing items on eBay. Tonight I'm going to be listing items on Amazon. I'm also going to be filming some Patreon content. I'm going to be having a discussion with one of my Patreon client members. So this is a big thing. This is what I can do in a space of, 8 hours, same as a working day. Now, the biggest thing that I'd say is sustainability can become a problem if you have no backup plan. Because even considering all of those businesses, you may make an argument that you can still get shut down. And this is where online business can help you to move forwards, but should be backed up by some more tangible assets. So, a lot of people say that I'm not going to make $1 million from online businesses. Whether I will or not, I don't know. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. It's not my intention to. In my head, it never was. I don't need to make $1 million from my online businesses. If I can make 20k, which I can, because I've already done it, great. If I can make 50k, 100k, 150k, 200k, which I know sounds unrealistic, but think about it. To go from, let's say, £1 to £20,000 is a 20,000 times increase. To go from £20,000 to 100 is now comparatively tiny. So you see where my belief comes from. Maybe I'm just skewed in my opinion, but here's my point. I don't need to make $1 million from online business. Full stop. Because come to a point where you've got, like I say, 100k, 150k, 200k, what have you got now? You've got options. You can invest in certain markets, property, maybe stocks, maybe other assets, maybe more stable assets. You can open a physical business if you wish to. You can buy better items to sell in different fronts. You can buy back your time, which can give you more options in itself and your freedom. And yeah, maybe I am just naive. I will say this, people like to say, well, you're this and you're that. This channel is just opinion. I don't claim to be knowledgeable even. I'm just a guy sharing my thoughts and opinions. The fact that people are subscribing is great, but I don't claim to know anything. With that being said, I think it's funny because most people in a job are simply saving 20k, 100k, 50k for a deposit, mortgage, investments. You're just doing the same running an online business. And especially if you can work a job or get your business rolling and then you cover your living expenses for 6 months to a year, the argument becomes a lot more compelling because now you've just got all the time in the world to try different things. And I think this is part of the issue, because a lot of people on a job don't realise that they're just working towards the same things. Most people are not fulfilled by their jobs, let's be honest. A lot of people are, a lot of people aren't. So job satisfaction, it's not like you get more satisfaction in a job for a lot of people. So that's out of the window. Pay can be, that can vary, right? How long is a piece of string? It's how much you get paid running a business, how much you get paid working. Depends on how clever you are, what you do, where you think. The potential for a business to grow is significantly larger, but I'd say that the potential for loss is also larger. You can genuinely lose money, whereas in a job, most jobs it's hard to actually lose money. You may not make money, which translate into lost earnings, but you're not going to physically actively lose money. Call me rude, but I wouldn't go to the gym and take advice off of someone who's severely overweight. I wouldn't take boxing advice of somebody who's never had a boxing fight over somebody who has. A lot of the people who give me and other people advice on why running a business, especially an online business, is a good idea or a bad idea, specifically a bad idea, they've never even tried it. I say, okay, well, what's your online business? What online business did you try? Then they say, well, I never tried it because, well, you don't even know then. You came up with this perhaps false pretense, or at the very least uneducated pretense on the subject, because you're not educated around it, in the sense that I have run online businesses, I know how it can work positively and negatively. I'm not saying I know everything, but I have some degree of education on the topic. So a lot of people come at it with this uneducated pretense that they know what they're talking about. They don't. They've got no experience, and they make these big sweeping statements. Online businesses are very unstable. Someone like me mitigates that by having significant amounts of savings. For instance, yes, I had a couple of tough times in terms of savings of businesses over the past year, but at the same time, I've now got enough to cover my living expenses for the next year. And especially when it's old people talking to younger people, number one, most of them don't have a clue about what they're talking about. They've never run an online business. They've never so much as sold a used pair of trousers on eBay, right? Never mind done any drop shipping, content creation, selling a skill, selling a service, selling a course, teaching somebody something. They've never done it, so they don't have a clue. A lot of them don't even have a clue how the internet properly works, which is half of the reason why they base their opinions where they've based them. And I'm not judging anybody, I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but this is the truth about it. Taking opinions off uneducated people is silly. It's silly to say the least. And drawing this back into the topic for today's video. Take me, for example, and I know a lot of you people are in the position that I am. You're fairly young, you don't have kids or real responsibilities, even if you live at home. Like, a lot of people say, well, if you live at home, it's going to be cheap. Well, I couldn't live at home for free, so I don't live for free. I know a lot of people who do live with their parents and they don't live for free, but at the same time, they live for a substantially reduced rate. Like I say, you guys can just grind out to a point where you've gone to work and made, what, 10, 15 grand, and your living costs for the next 6 months to a year to 2 years are covered. Why should you not try build a business? If you're like me, you're 21, right? I know, for example, that there is I don't want to say what it is for a number of reasons, but I know there is a certain job that I could get quite easily. It's got decent pay, and it's one of the jobs that will kind of always be open if you've got the skills for it, because not a lot of people do. And I do mean a genuine qualification rather than an opinion of something that's good or bad. But my point is this. So you're always going to have the option to go into some sort of field of work. Great. You're already very, very young. Fine. You've got not much to lose. Brilliant. Now, if you're watching this as a 40-year-old or a 50-year-old, and you've got a mortgage and kids and a car payment and this and that, well, of course you've got problems to pay for. Of course an online business for you is inherently more risky than it is for me. So, just like a lot of the content that I make on subjects like this, I appreciate all of my older viewers. Thank you so much for watching. But I'm just sharing my experiences, and naturally, that's going to be the experiences of somebody 21 and under. I'm not going to pretend to know what it feels like to be 40, because I've never been 40 yet, right? Common sense. But no, this is my point. A lot of people out here, they make these big sweeping statements about a business won't work, or most businesses fail, or the chance of you making it. How much money have you made online? How much money have you made online? Turnover, revenue, profit, any of it. I don't care if you sold a pair of headphones on Amazon for £1 and you made a loss. Show me some proof that you understand how making money online works. Because if you don't, I think it'd be like me coming into your job and telling you how it works when I don't have the qualifications or the skills. It sounds crazy to me. Maybe I'm just on another crazy rant, but I feel like there might be some weight to this argument.